Hi dear, hope you are all fine. Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is on function of hearing. First we draw the anatomy of ear. Anatomy of ear consists of the three parts: external ear, middle ear, and internal ear. First we draw the anatomy of the external ear. External ear consists of the pinna, that is made up of the cartilage, and pinna receives sound from the surrounding environment, and pinna is attached with the auditory canal. Auditory canal attached with the pinna, and this auditory canal receive this sound. So this is the sound. So this is the anatomy of the external ear. Auditory canal attached with this eardrum. Eardrum is a thin layer without any hole. When sound is attached with this eardrum, eardrums start vibrate. So eardrum have ability to vibrate. With the eardrum, middle ear is start. Middle ear consists of the three bones. These three bone is called milus, incus, stapes. These three bone form the middle ear. So these three bone is attached with the eardrum, and this is form the middle ear. With this middle ear, inner ear is attached. Inner ear consists on the, so this is the inner ear, consists on the, this is cochlea. So this is the cochlea. Inner ear consists on the cochlea and the semicircular canals. This is the three semicircular canals. 1, 2, 3. Three semicircular canal. Semicircular canal. So inner ear have outermost covering is called bony labyrinth. Bony labyrinth, and internally is membranous labyrinth. This is called membranous labyrinth. So inner ear consists on the bony labyrinth. So this is the bony labyrinth, and this is the membranous labyrinth. Bony labyrinth is white in color, and it is tough as compared to membranous labyrinth. So cochlea consists on the fluid. The fluid which is present inside the cochlea is called endolymph. Endolymph fluid is present inside the cochlea, and the fluid which present outside the cochlea is called perilymph. Fluid which is present outside the cochlea is called perilymph. Like this, the fluid which is present inside the semicircular canals is called endolymph, and fluid which is present outside the semicircular canals is called perilymph. So endolymph and perilymph is a lymph is a fluid, colorless fluid is present inside the air, like in eye, aqueous humor and vitreous humor is present, and in brain spinal cords, cerebral fluid is present, and air consists on the endolymph and perilymph fluid. Very important fluid. The importance of this fluid, it help in uh, producing air, it help in producing sound. So inside the endolymph and perilymph, hearing cell is present, hearing cell, like this, hearing cell. This is the hearing cell. Hearing cells, hearing cell. Hearing cell consists on the cilia, thread-like structure. This is called cilia. Thread-like structure, cilia is present. Outer surface of the hearing cell. Inside the fluid is also important particles is present. Important particles. We name this calcareous particles. These calcareous particles is little stone-like particles. These stone-like particles is present also inside the endolymph and perilymph fluid. So first is hearing cells with cilia, and second is particles, calcareous particles. Particle. Calcareous particles is present. So now our anatomy of the ear is finished. Now we discuss the function of the hearing. So when sound is coming from the surrounding, enter into the pinna, and through the pinna enter into auditory canal, and when is stick, and when is attach with this eardrum start vibrate. If is any hole is present inside the eardrum, vibration of the eardrum is not produced, and human become useless to produce sound. That's why eardrum is very important. So when sound is attached with this eardrum start vibrate. Due to the vibration of the eardrum, these three bone that's attached with this each other. This is attached with the eardrum, and eardrum also vibrate this bone, millus, and millus vibrate the incus, and incus vibrate the stapes. So these three bone is also start vibrate with the eardrum. So and the stapes is attached with this cochlea, inner part of the ear. This stapes is attached with this inner part of the ear. So due to the vibration of the stapes, cochlea is also vibrate. So cochlea is consist on the lymph, the fluid. Inside the fluid is hearing cells and also calcareous particles. So when this fluid is move forward and backward, this lymph fluid is also move forward and backward, and this cilia is also move forward and backward, and this calcareous particles is also move with this fluid. When this calcareous particles is attached with this surface of the cilia, the cilia surface, when this calcareous particles attach with the surface of this cilia, these calcareous particles attach with the surface of the cilia, it produce the nerve impulse, auditory nerve impulse, because hearing cell consists on the auditory nerves. Auditory nerves is originate from the hearing cell. These auditory nerves enter into the brain, and brain read this sound. So how sound is produced? Due to the vibrations of the eardrum, and with the ossicles, three bone ossicles, and with the cochlea with the fluid, and with the fluid is calcareous particles, and calcareous particles attach on the surface of the hearing cells cilia. And when these calcareous particles attach on this touch on this cilia, so when these calcareous particles touch on the cilia, it generates the nerve impulse. So these nerve impulse, auditory nerve impulse, is originate from this hearing cell, and enter into the brain. So hearing is produced. So semicircular canals is used for the balancing of our body. Three semicircular canals. This is the anterior semicircular canal, this is the lateral, this is the posterior. So when our body is moved forward and backward, this interior semicircular canals balance of our body, and fluid is also move toward the interior semicircular canals when we move forward and backward. So when our body move in horizontal, so fluid is enter into the interior semicircular canals, and nerve impulse is originate from the semicircular canals and enter into the brain, and we recognize that we move in horizontal condition. So when we move side by side, so our body balance become disturbed when we move side by side. So fluid is enter into the posterior semicircular canals, and nerve impulse originate from these posterior semicircular canals, enter into the brain, and we balance of our body, and we recognize that we move side by side. So balance of our body is under the control of semicircular canals, because when we move forward and backward, fluid is also move forward and backward into the interior semicircular canals, and when we move in rotational, fluid enter into the lateral semicircular canals, and when we move side by side, fluids is enter into the posterior semicircular canals, and nerve impulse originate semicircular nerves is originate and enter into the brain, and we balance themselves. So this is our today topic. Hope you clearly understand it. Allah Hafiz.